Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Projects, where we take a look at some of the biggest games on the blockchain right now. Today we are focusing on third and first person shooters with actual gameplay. So didn't want to look at any concepts. We want to look at things that are really progressing and coming along, and hopefully in the next year we will see actual hands-on gameplay that we'll be able to get involved in. Some of the games that we're looking at as well, I already have gameplay that you can get involved in, so let's check it out. Okay, so first up we have Shrapnel. This is a AAA gameplay quality game that is coming out to the NFT blockchain, and here we can see some of this first person shooter action in terms of design. It looks great, it looks crisp, you know, aiming down the sights looks really good, the guns look amazing. I think this is definitely one to probably keep your eye on out of all of these projects. I think if it delivers on what it's set out so far, then it's going to do really well. They have a trailer available that you can check out that kind of gives a setting to the gameplay and what you're expecting to have. So we've got this compound sigma, which you're trying to collect and go to an extraction point. So you will use that for upgrades, and like I imagine, looking really good and on point with aiming for that AAA game quality. A lot of people throw the AAA out there a little bit too easily, but this is one that I definitely think out of all the projects that we're going to look at today has the potential to live up to that. You can go to the website and check out their trailer. I'll put the link to their Twitter, which has a link to the link tree, down in the description below. The trailer looks really cool and definitely gives you an idea of what the combat's going to be like, seeing as they've got things like shields to protect from grenades and things like that. Definitely one to keep an eye on. That's Shrapnel. Next we have some alpha gameplay coming from Victory Point. A little less quality, I think, in the design. You know, obviously it's a big respect. You can just tell from the details of the weapons, or the lack of detail on them. Obviously it's alpha and they'll probably be working on that, but they seem to have the physics all in place. You know, aiming down sights and shooting looks really crisp, accurate. Headshot there. And I think it's just about building the quality of the environment around the gameplay. And you know, reading that they seem a little bit further along, I think, in terms of actual getting the gameplay ready for full to be able to play. And if the design isn't as high spec, it's going to move along a lot quicker than your projects like Shrapnel. So this is going to be a battle royale, so it could be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of competition for battle royales. I think, you know, they've said it's a AAA rated. Comparing that to Shrapnel, I don't think it looks like it's going to be AAA rated and quality, but it does seem a little bit further along in the design stage of getting this ready for you to be able to actually get hands on and play. But yeah, not up to the level of quality I think it needs to be for a AAA game. Next up we have Rage Effect. Now this is again AAA quality, aiming for that play and earn. We've got first person shooter on the Solana blockchain. So actually Victory Point was on Polygon, so we are going to see some of these across different across different blockchains. So this month we can actually see some gameplay from Rage Effect. Again, in terms of quality, nothing compared to Shrapnel, but I think it looks a little bit better than Victory Point, and they're way further along. As you can see, beta is ready to be able to be played, and also we see a variety of different game modes. We see a variety of different gameplay in terms of not just weapons, but we've also been able to drive a tank there as well. Doomsday. There are NFTs available for this, so player avatars. Rage guilds. They look like they are a lot further along and have a lot more content for this game when it comes out, rather than just the gameplay. Oh, we have kill streaks on the right there as well. That's Rage Effect. I think that looks definitely somewhere in between. Actually, beta launched on the 30th of June 2022. So how much further along are we now? So here's where we're at now. And the environment looks a little bit crisper, I think. they must be a lot further along. Beta came out in July, June last year. Oh yeah, so there we see the kill streak. So yeah, we've also got kill streaks in it, which is quite a complicated thing to add into a game. But it's great to see that they're doing that. So we can see that they're February the 10th, they tweeted they're one step closer to beta version 2. Game that was nothing short of incredible. It's the way of hitting the bullseye every time. A massive shout out to all participants. So there are people testing this currently and just working out all the bugs, perfecting it, improving it. So yeah, definitely moved along very, very nicely over the past couple of years. And this is one to keep an eye on if you're wanting a game to play quickly. When it has loads of gameplay footage that, you know, people have been testing and shows you that you're investing in, if you purchase an NFT, not in just a concept, but an actual project that is working towards full release very, very soon. Next up, we have one of my favorite FPSs in terms of this is already ready for you to be able to play. They've had tournaments, they've had different game modes. They're introducing this to mobile in Q2. This is Undead Blocks, a first-person shooting zombie survival game. You can check out here. We can check out here. This is what it's going to look like on mobile. So this is obviously early show, so it's probably going to have a cleaner user interface, but running just the same as the Web3 version. So you'll be able to play this a little bit more on the go. I think putting something on the mobile makes it slightly more accessible. I think I'd still want to play on PC because I think having a mouse will probably be a lot easier than playing on mobile. But if you haven't seen this, this is what you can expect from it. Zombie survival game, just like Call of Duty Zombies. We have a team gameplay mode there as well now. They're constantly updating the game to add new zombies in, to have new upgrades. So this is one that's probably the furthest along out of any of the first-person shooters. And from playing it personally, I think it just is way above anything else that I've played, and it's just as crisp as things that are off the blockchain. So definitely well worth checking out that one if you haven't already. Next up, a game that is also very, very far along. They've been running tournaments recently. Meta Ops. This is a first-person shooter, and I believe it's coming to the Avalanche network. Definitely looking a lot better than some of the other games. So the quality, the detail, the reflections on the gun as the light hits it, I think that's just showing the higher level of quality. It seems to be somewhere in between what we've been looking at just recently and the quality of Shrapnel. I'd say it just sits somewhere in the middle or slightly above in terms of quality of design. This offers you 6v6 gameplay. This guy looks like he's straight out of Lost in Space. Will Robinson, right? Does he not? Yeah, I think he does. It's going to obviously have NFTs involved in it so that you'll be able to use, customize your character. It's going to have AAA graphics. So the graphics are definitely up there. And we see some of the actual gameplay. Play, earn, and own. Good, give him with a knife. Gameplay looks crisp. Guns look nice. Detailing user interface looks nice. So alpha out and ready. That was back 7 months ago. So you can see how far this has progressed now. And Meta Ops is coming to the Avalanche blockchain. So it's great. So we're seeing some of these projects be on different blockchains. It gives you a little bit more variety in terms of options. But I mean, all of these ones that we spoke about, Polygon, Avalanche, Solana, all of them really good blockchains, I think. So that's Meta Ops. Check it out. I'll put that in the links down below. They have a link tree to all of their sites as well if you want to check that out. Another project that I think could compete with Shrapnel in terms of actually taking AAA gaming and bringing it into the crypto space is Project Quantum. This has been around for a long time. So here we have some of the pre-alpha proof of concept testing that just shows how far that they've come along in terms of design and gameplay. Now this was released way back in 2022 October, so it's obviously made a lot more progress, and this game I think is just going to have a lot more variety to it in terms of game modes. I think it's going to have, as you can see, like the Halo bubble, different items, things that you can use that add a little bit more strategy to the game and complexity. This is obviously just a blank canvas in terms of the landscape. No design gone into it. The only design we see here is slight design on the characters and the guns. But yeah, in terms of comparison to other things, it doesn't seem as far along based on that. But like I say, they'll have made progress since then. We're seeing some of the artwork come out of it, so you know, this is what you can expect in terms of the environment. This isn't just going to be a multiplayer. I believe it's going to have a single player mode to it as well. Coming out of Glasgow, Scotland. So I definitely think this one could compete with Shrapnel because of the quality that they seem to be aiming for, based on, you know, just some of the artwork that they've put out. And I've been following, this is a very early project. There was some opportunities in terms of purchasing the token. There was a point you could have invested in the token itself, and it was doing really well. So you know, we were around here I think when we first learned about it, and it went all the way up to here, so doing over 6x to get to that point. Since then it has come down, and we are at quite a good point. It's actually quite an attractive token to pick up, I think, being that, you know, they release any footage, it looks great, and you know, since October 22, at some point something's going to come. Only a 24 million market cap. If at some point they release some, you know, new updates, a new trailer, new gameplay footage that shows how far it's progressed since October, then we could see a bump in this token. So it could be quite a good one to invest in. You know, we're still above near the lows, so we're around here. So yeah, if you picked up the token here, you would be looking at 6 times 3, 18x if you sold up the top here. So big gains if it hits an all-time high. So that's Project Quantum, definitely worth looking at. Again, that will be in the links in the description down below. Next up, we have a game that is a first-person shooter, but it's a little bit different because they're going for a different genre, and this is the horror genre. This is The Bournless, and this is their gameplay. So this is beta gameplay highlights. And personally, having played this, it runs really good. Having played it in a multiplayer against other people, it's really fun. It's very different. I just think in the fact that they're going for something which is a completely different atmosphere, different feel to it. The weapons will be different because they're kind of old school. You've got the ability to make purchases in game with some of the things that you acquire. You've got a wolf or a demon, something chasing you whilst you're trying to fight and battle against each other, and this is controlled by you making sacrifices, using some of your resources. So it's got a lot of complexity to it, and I think I think it's really good going for something that's different from other games, because you could there's going to be a lot of first person shooters out there, and there's going to be a lot that look good, and the winner is probably going to be the best quality one, but there is room for different genres to do very well. So that's The Bournless. Again, link to their Twitter page will be down in the description below if you want to check it out. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for today's episode. Personally, I think the best looking one is Shrapnel, but I don't think that's going to be coming around as soon as some of the other projects that we've taken a look at as well. There are other projects out there to take a look at in the first-person shooter, third-person shooter genre, and there's games like Harvest. There's other games that haven't made any, you know, just a concept, so haven't got the gameplay to show, which also look like they could be very good. We've got shoot 'em ups like Big Time, which hits a kind of, I think personally, has like a Destiny feel to it, with, you know, taking down bosses, grinding on levels to level up. that looks really, really good. And a lot of these projects, being in that we're in a bad market at the moment, are very good to get into investment wise comparative to where they were. So some of these games, like big time, picking up some of the legendary land cost over $1,000, and now you can probably pick it up a lot cheaper. So worth checking out some of those projects. You can check some of those out if you're new to the channel on some of the past hot projects that I've done. Some of them I've done dedicated videos for as well. That's all for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like on the video, hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you guys soon.